away fentanyl. Get this started, and this is something that affects all of us. All right, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So, we've had the privilege of attending one of your classes. It was very informative, and we now travel with Narcan, so we're very grateful for that.
It's awesome.
So, I guess our first question, and I know this is very near and dear to your heart, and folks, as I said, this is something that affects all of us, so this is a very personal story. How did Chase Away Fentanyl come to be?
Well, we lost our son in January 16th, 2024, and we almost immediately knew that we had to do something, you know, and what we realized right off the bat was that we realized it was a fentanyl poisoning and or at least an opioid overdose. But the one thing we didn't have in our home was any Narcan or any naloxone at all, and so that started our journey to try and educate people and provide naloxone or Narcan to just as many people as we could. You know, and last year we distributed free naloxone. I think we got 6,038 doses, I think, is what we distributed last year.
Nice.
And so, you know, and we started this nonprofit. We actually launched it 28 days after my son passed. We got right on with it because I knew that I had to do something, or I would just be balled up in a corner somewhere, you know. And you know, it's been tough. A lot of reward, but there's also a lot of heartache involved in what I do. But you know, somehow I just can continue to put each foot forward each day. You know, I get up and I do what I do.
It's definitely, again, as someone that had the privilege to sit through your training, and my wife and I talk about this all the time, it's a testimony to your faith that you have the strength and the courage to relive this every time you tell your story. So we definitely give you a lot of praise for that. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
Overdose numbers, do you have any?
I don't really have any current numbers, but at last account, I think we were losing about 245 people a day in the United States.
Absolutely.
To fentanyl poisoning and, well, to overdose. So that kind of covers the whole realm from heroin to, you know.
And to put that in perspective on our mountain folks, and you know, we talk about this almost every week. This month alone, to date, including the last week of last month, we're at 20 overdoses. So this is a crisis, and we all need to take action, and we all need to find a place where we can grab a box of Narcan. And if you can get in on a training, we definitely want you to do that. It is 100% legal.
Yes.
You cannot be sued for using it.
No.
And it saves lives. It really just does. So another thing that we found interesting, and we totally get it after we heard you talk about it, overdose and fentanyl poisoning.
Yes.
Fentanyl overdose.
So everybody calls it overdose. I mean, because that's the term that we're accustomed to using. Yeah. But you know, in order for you to overdose, the medication that you overdose must have a suggested prescribed amount. You know, and there is no suggested prescribed amount of illicit fentanyl. I mean, you know, so it's poisoning. And you know, I recently did a news interview, and I told the lady that was interviewing me, I said, you know, it would be no different than me and you sitting down to have a drink or whatever, and me putting arsenic in your drink when you weren't looking. You know, I mean, it's the same thing, the same ball of wax, you know.
Absolutely.
But we treat it differently, you know.
We do. It's so true because folks suffering in addiction, whether it's weed to meth to cocaine to whatever it is, they're not signing up for fentanyl. They're going to buy whatever it is their drug of choice is, and they're not knowing that it's got the fentanyl in it. It's poisoning.
It's poisoning.
We couldn't agree with you more. It was like a light bulb.
Yeah.
When you said that for the first time, we were like, yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, we just got to try to keep that into perspective. And you know, a lot of what I do is, you know, like I talk about person first language and trying to reduce stigma and those types of things. And so when you call it an overdose, that word just has an ugly tint to it, you know, a lot of a stigma attached to it. And so, you know, when you face the reality that it's a poisoning and you're able to call it that, you know, and get used to calling it that helps reduce stigma. And that's, you know, that's part of our goal.
Absolutely.
You know.
Verbiage is definitely very important.
Yes.
This whole crisis, it really is. I really want folks to grasp how personal this was for you. To hear your story is amazing. It's a lot of folks, and it's tragic no matter how it happens. Whether you're getting the phone call from the sheriff's department or from the hospital, or you walk in on it, you were there with your son.
Yes, he was at my home, and he had been doing good. I mean, Chase was his name, obviously, but he had had several months clean, and for whatever reason, you know, there was this guy that just kept pestering him about this good drug that he had or whatever, and for whatever reason, my son found, you know, a weak moment, and that's all it took, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, and my grandson, who actually is with me today, he's the one that found his dad, and so it was, you know, we're in the process of getting our house ready to sell because I'm ready to get out of there.
Sure.
You know, the bedroom he was in, we keep closed off. It's just become a junk room, you know, and so. It's just time. It's time. It's time for us to move on, and you know, try to find some peace somewhere else. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. We don't struggle. We don't suffer every day, but it don't ever go away.
No, absolutely not.
You know, and so, I mean, we're not running from it or anything like that because I'm still going to do the work that I do till I die. I hope, if the good Lord's willing, you
Absolutely.
know.
Amen.
And so, you know, one thing, I want to go back to the poisoning and the overdose and the stigma thing. I want to go back to that for just a second.
Absolutely.
Because I saw a post on my LinkedIn, I think it was, and it really hit home for me because they were talking about the Texas flood, you know, and what a horrific thing it is and how tragic, and you know, I agree 100%, but and they talked about, like, you know, 100 kids, over 100 people, you know, and just wall-to-wall coverage on the news, but at the same time that happened, 1,000 people passed away from fentanyl poisoning across the United States, and you don't hear about it. There's no coverage, you know, and so that's part of the problem, I think.
It is absolutely part of the problem.
You know, and you know, I'm not downplaying the horrible flood.
Not.
You know, I'm just, you know, trying to put things into perspective. You know, as somebody that kind of works in the field. That's a huge part of the problem. That's a huge part of the stigma that kind of breeds stigma when you know, and so anytime I get a chance to get on a podcast or on the news or I got to be on the radio tomorrow. I mean, I get on there and I talk about this stuff because I don't want that to continue to happen, man. I want the stigma to go away.
Absolutely, and we have to keep all this in perspective. We just truly do. That's a huge number when you think about it.
Yeah,
it just truly is a huge number. And when we're talking about how personal this is for Allen and his family, we all have been touched by someone somewhere. Last month in Palmer, we all know about the 12-year-old girl that walked in and found her mom, and that was from fentanyl poisoning. So we all need to work together. We all need to work on the stigma. We all need to bring this to light. It was awesome on June 28th when we had the huge coalition and everybody coming in unity. That was a wonderful thing, and we just need to ride that momentum and carry
absolutely
it
keep it going.
So for everybody out there listening, how does someone get a hold of you to arrange one of your trainings?
So you can go to my website. It's chaseawayfentanyl.org, not www, just chaseawayfentanyl.org. Or they could give me a call. If you're listening, want to write my phone number down, it's 931-581-4560. Or you could email me. The best way to do that is just do it from the website. There's a form there, a contact form, and you can go on there, fill out the contact form, and submit it. It'll go straight to my email, and I'll give you a call or email you back. We'll get it set up.
Fantastic. And I'm telling you guys, take the opportunity, schedule a training, schedule a class. It is amazing, the information that it gives. You need to do it. You just really need to do it. I want to thank everybody for listening, and this has been another edition of the Grundy County Pulse, and we will talk to you soon.